Hey everybody, welcome to episode 160 of the Bonehead podcast, where we talk all things Blood Bowl. And jingle. Welcome back. I'm Ben, and once again I'm joined by Blood Dive Ben. It's all right. I did the camera while you were painting, I guess. So like.
Oh, sorry. Then I moved.
Yeah. That's all right. It's cool. I can change it now. How you doing, BT? All right?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah. How are you?
Right. This is like on the stream on Monday where you were trying to bend down so that you weren't in the way of all the chat messages. There we go.
Try and make it look as smooth as possible.
Okay, let's do that. That makes it a little bit better. Anyway, yeah, episode 160. We don't have trips today because real life has got in the way. Milton is still in Azkaban, but we do have BT, which is wicked. And Ben, what are we talking about on today's episode of No Blood Bowl News in the World Ever?
Well, we're going to be musing about the secret team, the Cathay team, because obviously we had a big release for the Old World, which was kind of unsurprising. I don't know, it came out of nowhere, personally.
I think it was pretty surprising.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're going to see what that might look like in the world of Blood Bowl, because not off the cards.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, we'll have a quick look at the Old World bit, and then, like Ben said, we're going to have a look at the Secret League team, because there is a Cathay team on the Secret League, and with Punga dropping part one of what I think is one of their best teams they've done in a long time.
It's so good.
I'm really impressed with it. I'm kind of like, okay, right, if there is no Blood Bowl news, let's see if we can't make some Blood Bowl news. So yes, let's dive in. All right, before we jump into Cathay, we dropped out a survey for last week. I don't know, the weeks and days are blending into each other. Checking in with everybody, there was a few questions, 5 or 6 questions, just looking at content, what we're doing well, what you think we can improve on, what you like watching, how you like watching it, and stuff like that. And it was really, really, really useful. We had nearly 900 responses, which was fantastic. So I've been dipping in and out of that. Loads of people like Necromunda, which Trips has been absolutely overjoyed with as it's been coming in. And we said we would give away a couple of things and we'd do a raffle the next time we did the podcast. And we are now doing the podcast. So we've got all the names of everybody that participated. I've run a unique check so that if there are no duplicates, there should be no duplicates. I've numbered everyone as well. So like for the 12 Matthews, like it's cool. There's going to be a number. We'll do a couple of spins to win, and if there is a name that is very like, I will send you an email, so you don't have to be like worried too much. So if it's one of the Matthews, it's kind of like, or Andrews, it's like you're going to get an email if it's you, Andrew. If it's not you, Andrew, who knows? Anyway, might not even be Andrew. So a couple of things we're going to give away because there's so many people that have dropped in the survey. We're going to do one who's going to get a, I was going to say dodge this. Oh man, there's another mug idea there. Got dodge mug and a Brute Fun team of your choice that I will print for you, and we'll give away a couple of mugs as well. So we'll do 3 spins. The first one gets a mug and a Brute Fun team, and then the other 2 will just get mugs. So I'll drop you emails. So I chucked all the names in here. Which is like the girthiest spin wheel I've ever seen, and the winner of a Brute Fun team and a dodge mug. Let's make sure this works. Do I need to?
I like there's like a red line that's there. I'm curious what that is.
Oh yeah, is that the start point maybe?
Oh, maybe.
Kieran White, you are the winner of a Dodge This mug, and it's not a Dodge This mug, but it should be a Dodge This mug. And a
you can dodge a mug, you can...
Yeah. I will drop you an email, and then 2 more people are going to get mugs, just because so many people entered, and I think it'd be cool to do so. So, got Dodge mug is going to Marcus, who will also get an email, because if there are multiple people called Marcus, it's Marcus 281 that I chucked into the number. I kind of went through and did the duplicates and then arranged by alphabetical order, and I was like, this isn't going to work. Everybody needs a number. And also getting a mug and is David Irving. Fantastic. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody for doing the survey. Like, I know Miniac did one, and that's kind of what got me the idea. I was like, right, well, let's just see, like, let's see who wants to help and who wants to kind of make things a little bit better. We've already started trying to work on some of the comments that came through, like changing up how we do Monday Night Blood Bowl a bit so that we can separate the chat so that it goes up as a VOD, so that if you can't make the live chat and you want to watch the game back, it's about the game, and if you're still live, we still chat with you as we're playing. So I think we're doing our best to learn from what you guys are saying, which I think is really cool. But a massive thank you to everybody who helped out and filled out the survey. And then, with that done and said, let's go to Cathay, Ben. So we were talking, I think, before about Total War, and
Yeah.
how much Total War have you played?
I very little. Like I mentioned it that because I've sorted out my computer for streaming, and I was testing it on Total War, like stress testing it with one of the like a big pitched battle, and yeah, it's a game that I love the idea of, and when I come to actually play it, I realize I'm terrible at it. I can't get the hang of it. I think it just needs time, but I don't seem to have the patience for this game in particular, which annoys the hell out of me because I love everything about it.
I don't know if you might be a bit too young for this, but did you ever watch a show called Time Commanders?
I know of it because of you, but I was too young to have watched it in person.
Oh, it was wicked.
Yeah.
I think it might have been early 2000s, I guess. Where it was
For me, it was Bamzuki, where it was like the same principle, but tiny little robots that they would design.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But I was on a team day yesterday, and I brought up Time Commanders, and like 3 of the other people in the room were like, "Oh my god, that was the best show ever." And then we had to explain why it was good, because it was just like, right, yes, like historical battles, but the Muggles tell other people who can use a mouse how to make the game go. And of course, that started off the Total War series, and then Games Workshop get involved with the Warhammer Total War series. And as a part of that series, they were able to expand the Warhammer fantasy world. So I think that's set around about 8th edition for Fantasy Battle, and part of that they expanded the world of was Grand Cathay. So there's elements of the Warhammer fantasy world that have not really been explored historically, definitely not much in miniature. You've got Cathay, which is kind of analogous to kind of your ancient China. You've got Nippon, which is
It's very like Three Kingdoms, isn't it? Three Kingdoms, China.
Yeah.
Dynasty Warriors.
Red Cliff kind of stuff. Then there's Nippon, which is more of a fantasy version of Japan. So it's a whole mixture of tropes, basically, which is basically how Warhammer Fantasy Battle works. And Games Workshop kind of works. And then there's some other bits as well, Tilia and
Yeah, they did it with Kislev, though, didn't they? So I don't think that had much tabletop presence, and then Total War did it, and then Games Workshop are kind of doing it from Total War. So it's kind of that kind of relationship.
Kislev had some models and some units going back as far as Warhammer Battle 5th edition. They had some Kislev archers. Then they did a couple of bits in 6th edition, but not a full army. But you're right, they went Kislev, Cathay, massive armies. So when they brought out the Total War kind of roadmap years and years ago, before not Total War, sorry, the Old World, they were like, right, here's a load of concept art for Kislev and Cathay, and everyone was like, oh wow, the Old World's going to launch with Kislev versus Cathay, and they're going to bring new models. And then obviously they launched instead with kits that were kind of older than you, Ben, and sold them for a reasonable amount of money. And they've just been kind of doing the Blood Bowl thing, right? Brewing up, going through the Teams of Legend. We've seen them go through the Teams of Legend. They said, here's we're going to do this, and they've just done High Elves, and now they're moving on to Beastmen and Wood Elves, and that's the last of the first 12 they said they were going to do. So to use a Blood Bowl analogy, like that was the last of the Teams of Legend that they kind of identified they were going to redo. And then, as part of the preview, they dropped a full set of brand new Cathay miniatures. And I mean, Ben, you're an excellent painter. I get kind of Song of Ice and Fire / Conquest vibes from these.
I get so massive Conquest vibes. Yeah,
Okay.
when I first saw these, I thought they were Conquest miniatures, just a bit stumpy.
Yeah, what is it? Like, what is it about them? Is it just
It's the flowing cloaks and quite historical tied armor. So like Conquest, the whole theme of it is sort of alternate history or alternate future world. So it's like there are tropes that they've kind of manipulated. So you've got like ancient Rome, but they're all undead. And then you've got like ancient Japan, but they're all like demons. Like it really leans into like the Oni. They've just come out. And then you have like you've got Viking and Norse mythology, but it's all kind of alien and like bestial. So it's kind of like they have the grounding in what is familiar to us, but then warp it in some kind of fantasy way.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we've got here, I think, where you've got this clearly like historically influenced figure, but definitely warped in a Warhammer style that's like exaggerated and very like what is the word I'm looking for?
They've got like bold details that I think they've pulled out really nicely.
Yeah,
It's a weird thing, like with good Warhammer models, they make them detailed and they make them expressive without making them overly complicated. Like I think Punga are really good at that as far as the way they sculpt, and this stuff is actually, I think, quite similar in that way, where it's both overstated and understated at the same time. Because like the infantry look great, but each individual one is fine. Like you can tell that it is a kit meant to be duplicated 40 times, which really works. But interestingly, I love the old world. I love the idea of the old world, and according to the survey, a lot of you like old world too. This great models, but didn't draw me in and make me go, oh yes, I'd love an army of this. Did your wallet get tickled by this at all then?
Yeah, I really like these. I would like if I was playing old world and I could afford to play old world, I think I would absolutely lean to an army like this. I just think they're awesome. I think they're just they're just so striking, and I think again that's because of the armor style.
It's yeah. I mean I like what they've done. This one made me.
Oh yes.
The only thing is why I think we're the Age of Sigmar high elves. What are they called? The Lumi boys, the Lumineth guys. They lent quite hard into some very similar design aesthetics to this. So I think some of what we see here also like really quite smacks of the Lumineth from Sigmar. Oh, I forgot about the lantern thing. That's wicked.
The sky. This is all I think about when I think of Cathay as well, because the Total War trailer and when they first released had loads of these that were just glowing. And
the trailer, oh yeah, of course they got the giant statues as well. These apparently are on absolutely monstrous bases where they might even be too big to use for Blood Bowl.
Again, it feels like Conquest. Conquest have like a million of these giant guys.
That is very Conquest. The proportions are different.
It really does feel like that. Yeah. This doesn't. I would say that model does not look like a Warhammer model.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. But I think that's just because we've been so ingrained with Warhammer models looking like the stuff that was hand sculpted like in the 2000s. Whereas this is like the first. Well, obviously I think they did the Bretonian Foot Knights, but like this is like the first thing they've brought out since models have moved forward. What did you think of the dragon? Yeah, the storm dragon.
This I absolutely adore this.
I think this is cool.
And just the concept of it, where she like becomes a dragon.
Yes.
And does she just transform back and forth? Like, is that the idea?
I don't know. Didn't Malekith's mum do that in Age of Sigmar as well?
Oh yeah, Marathi.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, couldn't remember.
Yeah, definitely.
I love this. I don't know. No, I'm not going to bring that up. But I do think, they've done a very good job with the models. There's a lot of stuff that's very stylized and is very kind of like obviously meant to be like, if you look at this, you're meant to think like, oh, this is clearly like based on a Chinese dragon. Like,
yeah, absolutely. And her, like, she is based on like a Chinese princess of like that kind of era. And the guy riding above is just Lu Bu on a dragon, or like whatever it was. You know, the guy with the spear.
Yeah,
it was earlier up.
The thing that I think is based on this Chinese unicorn. I think Longmar is a mixture of two words that means like flying horse or something. Or dragon horse. I watched a video earlier when I was cleaning up a print about like the history of Chinese military warfare stuff and how Cathay blends into it and what they've taken out of it and what works, what doesn't work. And I thought it was really quite interesting. But yeah, anyway,
it's awesome. Yeah,
like it's very cool to see brand new models. For me, not enough to grab me. Do you know what? They're all very, very, very cool, but it's just the prospect. I think you already mentioned it, Ben. It's like the cost of a Warhammer Old World army using new Games Workshop model prices is just terrifying. Like, I love the idea of it, but it is absolutely terrifying because, like, when Age of Sigmar stuff is like what, £35 for 10 infantry?
Yeah, something crazy.
Something like that, which is just like very, very terrifying. However, what this got everybody thinking about is like, this would make, if they could do a Blood Bowl team in this style, one box, 12 dudes, whatever, sell your big guys separately as they always do. That would be, I just think, an absolutely monstrous seller. That I just, it's one of those things, like, between this and Squigs, they've got so much design space to play with. Do you think them dropping a Blood Bowl team at the same time as Cathay, or in the work, you know, using similar assets, similar lads, do you think that's even feasible, Ben?
I'd say it's absolutely feasible. Like, I'm kind of surprised they don't. It feels like a two birds with one stone situation, and we saw it happen a lot with when they did. Like when we were saying with Slanesh, we thought like, oh yeah, no, they're doing some new demons and stuff with that. Maybe, who knows? And then, what was the most recent Age of Sigmar army that came out that we said they could do it with?
Oh my god! I
can't remember.
The Venari Blade Lords, the High Elf Swords Masters. Are they
High Elves? That was it.
If they £40 for 5, what?
That wouldn't surprise me.
That is mental. That is £40 for 5 32mm elf-sized models. Imagine that price for the old world, like where every unit has to be like 20 dudes. That is absolutely monstrous. Jeez.
I don't know if it's just the economic shifts of the world, but like that seems crazy. And I don't even think like I used to buy armies a lot. I haven't in quite some time, but like
it was never that bad. It was 40 quid.
It was never that bad.
But like, I don't think it was ever 40 quid for 10. But I mean, still, like the prospect, yeah, you're right. Like in this time where prices have gone up and people have less money at the same time, every £40 unit is miserable. That's the beautiful thing about Blood Bowl, right? Because normally Blood Bowl release drops for 40 quid, you get the spike and you get the team. And that's basically what you need for most teams. Like maybe you splash out and get a Forge World bit, or your 3D print a bit that's missing, or you kit bash something. But like, you get that painting challenge. And that's the thing for me with this release, that the Stone Giants are cool, the Dragons are cool, the Lantern is very, very, very cool. But like, the thing that Games Workshop seems to miss is they don't often drop a product that's pick up and paintable. Like just at that, like kind of like, do you know what? If they dropped a £25 box for 10 dudes, you'd be like, do you know what? I'll pick that up and give them a paint. Like they make...
Warcry was that.
Warcry was that. And yeah, have they killed Warcry? Has that gone?
Yeah, I say was. I think because I haven't played it.
Oh no, I just don't know if it exists anymore. Like they dropped the...
They got a page for it.
Like should we have a look? They dropped the Gorger and stuff. Is it other games or will it be Warcry?
Online only.
Online only. Cursed City. That's a little gaggle of games you're not going to see again.
Yeah, that's. Oh, this group feels pretty.
And there's us right at the bottom.
Pretty doomed.
The old world. Anyway, Games Workshop, come on. Squig team, Slanesh team, Cathay team. You've clearly got the assets, and no one, I don't think, in their right mind would complain if a Blood Bowl team looked like these dudes. If they, it just looked like these dudes.
Absolutely not.
So it got everyone talking, got everyone thinking, and then obviously when people discuss new teams and new releases, the first thought is, what is there out there already? And we've talked about this loads and loads of those times, Ben. We've played loads of games. We've run tournaments with it. We've the secret teams on Fumble. And there is a Cathay team on the Secret League, and I thought we'd have a butcher's at it because it could be a good benchmark as to what a Cathay team could be. Now it depends on where they take Cathay from Warhammer Total War and stuff like this. But I thought, rather than do a special team Sunday, we'd all chat about it on the podcast because it's quite fun to look at stuff like this. So the Cathay team on Fumble Secret League, 0 to 16 Jade linemen, a 50k a piece for a lineman. How much are human linemen? Are they 50k?
50k, yeah. Okay. No. Yes, they are.
Yeah. Hobgoblins and stuff are 40. Okay.
Yeah.
Movement 6, movement 6, strength 3, edge 3 plus, passing 4 plus, armor 9 plus. That is literally human lineman with GAS. So absolutely bog standard human lineman. All right, 0 to 4 crane runners. Movement 7, edge 3 plus, passing 3 plus, armor 8 plus, strength 3 as well. Sure hands and Fumblerooski with general, agility, passing, and strength as secondary. So movement 7 for 80k with human stats. That is
Catcher without dodge. There's a catcher with different skills, right?
Yeah.
They're movement 8, aren't they?
That's a Amazon thrower with 1 extra movement. That's a human blitzer without block or armor, but with better. It's a cool. But okay, I think that's
it's different.
There's probably a positional that has got that stats that we're not thinking of. Maybe the Valkyrie, but with different skills. Valks are good, but that might be down to the skills. Sure hands is very useful, and Fumblerooski. I don't know, man. We've been playing Blood Bowl 2020 now for 5 years. Have you ever seen Fumblerooski used?
No, actually, have I? No, I haven't.
I haven't either. I'm gonna check out the skill now because I think it's one of those ones that it came out and you were like, that's cool. You could do some cool stuff with that, and then you took I don't know, any other skill.
You didn't put the ball on the ground voluntarily, and
yeah, it's never a good idea. So is it an agility skill?
I think so.
Is it a passing skill?
It could be passing.
Ooh, it is passing. When this player performs
a
move or blitz action while in possession of the ball, they may choose to drop the ball. The ball being placed in any square they vacate during their movement and does not bounce. So
I guess the real niche with it, right, is that you can potentially get multiple passes with it in a way.
Yeah.
And multiple, but then you could also just hand off. So I don't really understand. Like,
the benefit I see here is if you've got 2 crane runners, you drop it, the other one comes along with sure hands, so you still have that integral reroll potentially. So it's
I suppose
technically safer to Fumblerooski onto the ground if another sure hands piece can pick it up, because there's no chance of a turnover.
Unless you failed the 3 with the reroll.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that is very fair. So cool. Like, okay. Then you've got Celestial Dragon Guard. So 90k, movement 6, strength 3, 3 plus edge, 4 plus passing, 9 plus armor, thick skull, fend, sidestep, general agility, strength. So these are these the blitzers? Thick skull, armor 9 plus, that's not bad at all. Fend and sidestep is
they remind me more of the
an annoying combination.
Nobility bodyguards. Yeah, nobility bodyguards seem more like that. This kind of role of just sort of durable, annoying roadblocks that are irritating to get past.
These are very durable, actually, for human stuff that's short of armor 10 plus. Okay. Very, 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 very limited offense there. Like, I mean, strength 3, movement 6 plus, edge 3 plus is all right.
Yeah, with strength access, you're probably guarding these guys. That kind of strategy. Yeah. Block
maybe on the runners then. Straight away when you've got your Celestial Dragon Guard, maybe to take the guard. I don't know. There's one more piece to talk about in the puzzle here, which is a Foo statue. So Foo dogs are your kind of like the stone lions that they kind of you kind of see in what I would say was kind of Chinese adjacent culture. 130k, movement 3, strength 5, edge 5 plus, armor 11 plus, loner 4 plus, take root, mighty blow +1, stand firm, iron hard skin, thick skull, sure feet. So movement 3 piece with take root and sure feet. So just, I guess the idea here is that this is going to turn back into stone and get stuck in place.
Yeah, like become a full statue. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Swamp it. Yeah. I like it. It's a fast tree.
Right.
Sure feet's pretty nice.
130k though. It's a fast tree. It's a weak tree though. It's not bad, is it? I mean, 150.
I mean, it's on a stronger team than trees usually are. Like this team is more likely to get guard, like we said. Like those pieces, the dragon guards, I think would be really good to have guard on.
Is this not a worse mummy?
Uh,
Because the mummy's 150k, mighty blow, movement 3, strength 5. Well, this has got better armor, I guess.
better armor,
Way
stand
better.
firm, which is quite nice.
They've done
Sure feet is nice as well.
they've done a really good job here, I think, of representing a statue. Like, they've put all the
Yeah, I think
skills
so.
together that you kind of, it makes sense. That's really nice. That doesn't happen very much. It doesn't happen enough in game design, right? These days, where you read something and you're like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Like, we've gone so far down the path, I think, over the last 10 years where, yeah, okay, they rerolled.
Actually, I was going to say that as well with the Dragon Guard. I was going to say that because fend and sidestep, like they've depicted it in this image as like a martial artist, and I don't know if the Dragon Guards are kind of like that role of just like the sort of hand-to-hand masters, which is obviously quite a trope. But it's if that is the case, I think fend and sidestep really is that, because it's the kind of like just moving around, hard to get down.
Yeah, that's fair.
Really annoying to get, like you just can't break past, you can't follow up, you can't assist with it, it's going to dodge away, it's going to step around.
This feels like a really defensive team, right?
Yeah,
But
definitely.
with very limited strike potential. The Fu statue's great. I think he's going to be able... I'll tell you what. I'm starting to see this team brew up a little bit now. It might be a line of scrimmage kind of control space. You put some guard...
It's nobility,
on...
I think.
Yeah, you are right. It's really similar to nobility. The difference with nobility is there's a catch, like there's a lure with nobility, because you've got the 2 blitz catchers and you're like, oh, they're pretty sweet. So I know what the plan is here. I've got my combat contingent, my slow down bit, and then my breakthrough pieces. And I guess those are also the crane runners. Just, oh man, wouldn't it have been cool to give the crane runners just start them with leap, just so you can get that kind of like just the flying over would have been really interesting.
Yeah, Fumblerooski is a bit of a miss. If it was Sure Hands Leap and then you get block
How cool
off
would
as
that
your first
be?
skill, that would be really good. Yeah,
Then you've got,
because that is definitely what you want to
you've
take
got
on
a
them.
catch, you've got a bite. There's a thing there where you're like, okay, this is my lore, this is why I'm playing this, is because I'm starting off like, sure, they're going to die because that's fun. It's Blood Bowl, but you've got to have a reason. Like now you're like, oh yeah, my guy puts the ball on the ground and picks it up again really well, and you're like, those are the 2 stupidest things to do in Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
Like that might actually be a worse skill than dump off trips. Terrible.
I don't know. Yeah, I that's the one I can't get my head around. If they're Edge 2+ with Fumblerooski, I can kind of see it. Like Sure Hands and Fumblerooski Edge 2+, that kind of makes sense. But dropping the ball for a 1 in 9 is just...
It's just begging.
I'd rather hang on to it. And
well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like try and block me. I've got Celestial Dragons with Fen, Sidestep, and Guard, so I'm going to be able to position it so that you're getting a 2-die block against me at best. I don't know. Maybe the Crane Runner needed. It's just a combination of skills that it's potential that I just obviously I've not played this team and not played against this team, so I don't really know what that is. But I guess just the fact you can have 4 of the Crane Runners is actually quite cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think having maybe something else is to increase their strike potential. Like have Fumblerooski, absolutely, but then give me something else to do with them, because at the moment you've got potential ball carrier, and then you've got like blocker, like under like a passive blocker piece. Like what would you say you're maining in Blood Bowl at the moment, Ben, other than gnomes?
Yeah, it's been a while, like, because obviously I was playing Corn a lot, and I've been trying to break that habit, but I haven't played much outside of the channel, so it kind of does feel like gnomes at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get my head around them,
because I'm like looking at this from I'm licking my skaven lips at the prospect of playing against this team. I'm like, I have no fear here at all. This is like sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
You just run past them, right?
Please Fumblerooski them. Like, I've got more block than you. I've got more edge than you. I've got more speed than you. And the only thing you're doing here is moving to a better place to die and putting the ball on the ground. And I'm like, those are things I can get behind for my opponent. Like potential. I see this as a not a gimme, but this is like a good matchup for Skaven. So I'm like, okay, let's go.
Which is kind of like nobility, right? But then we have seen nobility do some things, because I think you can really brew them up in the right tournament setting. I mean, speaking of, these are listed as tier 1. I think that's absolutely not the case. But I think in the right tournament setting, the right skills, you could probably do something really interesting with this.
Yes.
Like, they've got tricks,
and that might be the angle here, is that this team, it needs a bit of juice.
yeah.
And that's,
They've got 50k rerolls, so they're already pretty cheap. Like nobility blitzers are 115k or something.
105,
these guys are 80,
aren't they?
105, sorry.
But
okay, so you put
they've
in
got 60, 70k rerolls, I think, and you can't
Yeah, exactly.
you can't buy a full lineup with these guys. I think you can get 4 of the Dragon Guard, 1 or 2 runners, 3 rerolls, 11 players all in, which is not a bad place to start.
Probably.
And then you're right, like you start developing the player types potentially.
I think that statue is actually very, very good though.
It's
I
gonna be
mean, we've said
around
mummies are
forever.
amazing,
Oh,
and these are faster mummies.
no, they're not. They're the same speed mummies, but they've got take root, which is why I'm like they're worse.
They've got sure feet. You can rush with them.
Yeah, but if your movement's 0, hey, we've seen take root regularly.
Yeah, that's true.
So the cool thing about the Punga Cathay team is that they're going for a mixture of Imperial nobility and humans. So they've got the ogre piece, they've got some blitzers, they've got some... Good job, iPhone, you're doing a good job of this. And they're
looking crisp.
They have got some blockers, which these are some of the best models and the best prints.
They are so good.
I've seen in a while. I'm genuinely blown away by this.
Did you print these?
Yeah, man. S2 all the way.
That's good.
They're really, really, really good models. To the point where I've looked at this and I was like, oh, I might have to paint some of these. Even Ian Warhammer Hannum, who is a Games Workshop big fan, was like, I might have to get one of these. Like, I might have to pick that team up. So Punga have dropped the Cathay team. They were working on it before. I wonder, right, question for you. Did Punga have an inside knowledge of Games Workshop dropping Old World?
That's a good question.
Because that's the...
I think you have to assume they do. I think when you see like things that come out, it just seems like, unless they're that fast at making models.
Well, no, they were already working on these before the thing came, which was really interesting because I saw the Adepticon preview and I was like, huh, I guess I will be printing the Cathay team. Because I'm not going to lie, before Games Workshop did the preview, I was really like, I don't care much about a Cathay team for Punga. Like, okay, it's another human team, fine. Then they dropped the Cathay thing and I was like, okay, all of a sudden Cathay's a thing and Punga have literally just dropped half of a Cathay team. I'm like, this is really interesting. Like, there's some pieces to put together there. So my question for you is, the Cathay roster, if you've got a Cathay team from Punga, and let's say the Fu statue, I think, is pretty interchangeable with any big guy. That's the beautiful thing about these rosters, right? Is if you have a big guy, you can use whatever a big guy you want. And this one in particular, if you just painted it as a statue or whatever, job done. Would you run this roster? Would you run humans or would you run nobility? If you had a choice of those 3.
I think I'd run this one for novelty, honestly. I think if you're going to win, I'd run humans. But I think with just because it's secret, and I have just a penchant for playing new secret stuff that you don't often see, I think I would run this because I think they can be quite. This seems like it's got the foundation to be quite a brilliant team.
Well, I tell you what, Punga are going to drop part 2 next month. We might have to see if we can sneak a little Cathay, even if it's a sevens game or something, just to get this on the pitch and try it out, because it's always very exciting.
Do they have rivals in the lore? Like, is there something we can set up for that?
There was a little
I don't know anything about them
here about there was something about Warhammer Online. Oh wow, it's going back. Do you remember the MMO that Warhammer did?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Confirms that Cathay are a human race, and again confirms the wars between Cathay, Chaos, and the Hobgoblins. It also talks about the capital Weijin, the mountains of heaven, and the Fu statues are also described here. So this is all.
Chaos Source probably then.
Potentially, I believe we've got one of those painted. Yeah, I mean, look, there's plenty of secret teams around. I've literally just taken off a full whack of Brute Funds Part 1 and Part 2 Savage Goblins, like the Forest Goblins. So I don't know, we could set up some interesting secret sevens or something just to give them a play. But Cathay, it's interesting. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to play the role of Trips today, Ben, which is unusual. I just don't see Games Workshop going this route. I think with the way they're doing releases now, they seem to be really siloing each game, which I find baffling. Like that feels like they really silo each game so that the halo effect does not touch any other game. Historically, they'd like, boom, here's a Blood Bowl team, and this 40k player has converted his orcs to have guns, and this is what we're going to, because we get cross sales. Now it feels like they're like, right, the AOS stuff can only be used for AOS. Don't try and, like, you can see it with like the Old World, the armies that were in AOS that came to Old World, they ended in AOS. So Beastmen, they were like, okay, you can have Beastmen in Old World, but they are gone from Age of Sigmar. And I just, with them dropping Cathay in the Old World, because of that, and I think the bleed of the halo effect that for some reason they don't want, I can't see it happening. But that feels like a monstrous miss, right?
Yeah, which isn't new for Games Workshop. I think we've said it with every time where it's like you say, when there's a new release comes out, we're just like, oh, there would be a nice Blood Bowl equivalent, and there never is. And I agree. It feels like a missed opportunity because it feels easy. It feels easy.
It feels so easy. Like, I appreciate that 3D sculpting is difficult, but I don't know. It wouldn't take much for them to be like, okay, we've got all of the squig assets, all of the squig SDLs, and we've just done all this Cathay stuff. Like, does anybody want to make a little bit more money here? And they're like, nah, it's fine.
A little bit. Like we've seen with like the Snotlings came out, it was like everyone was all over those.
And gnomes, like everyone and their partner were like picking up gnomes. Like, I think a Cathay Blood Bowl team would hit that really beautiful sweet spot of new but familiar. And also, like, if you want to paint something that's Cathay-ish, you can pick up a box, paint it, and have something that technically does something, as opposed to the tough thing about Old World here is 35 quid or whatever, how much a Blood Bowl team is now, is not going to touch the sides at all for any of what you want to do. Like, those giants are going to be, I don't know, 80 quid for 2, or something that just makes them completely
Or those statue ones.
Yeah.
No, I think we're talking 100 quid for one.
No, surely not. Surely not. Well, I mean, on the basis of the fact that 5 high
So they're monstrously big, right?
Swords Masters are like, let's check out the Old World's difficult because they've priced the Old World stuff lower because it's old, not still cheap, but lower than the Age of Sigmar equivalent. Do you know what? I'm going to have a look at the Age of Sigmar moose thing that they had for their high elves. What's the moose statue called? Let's go to the news tab.
That's a great question.
Moose statue. I choose you. Age of Sigmar. Shot by Alliance. Loomies.
I was going to say, I recently painted Magnus the Red, and I looked that up, and that's over £100 now.
No, I mean, that's a very cool model.
It's a Primarch.
Yeah. That one, yeah. Okay, so their Chinese unicorn was £40. Okay, that's £40 for 10 of those guys. I mean, I think the way Old World's priced, they're probably going to be £40 to £50 for 20 of like their spearmen, because they seem to be doing it in volume. Oof, yes, you're right. Their moose captain, Spirit of the Mountain, £80 for one. So yeah. Do you know, it's so sad because I was looking at those guys' statues and I was like, do you know what would be really cool? Like, we could set up a giant versus giant. We could do 2 themed giants. We could have the Cathay team with like their stone statue giant. We could do something for a different team and it could be really cool. Like, I'm not against printing out one of Brute Fund's trolls at twice the scale just because it's really fun to do. Like 80 quid potentially for the moose giant that came out 6 years ago.
The trouble is, Ben, is I'll need at most 4 minutes and I'll find you one of those in my STL library.
Oh, I know. We've got plenty. Like,
yeah.
But it's just like it would be nice to have a release from Games Workshop and be like, oh, that's wicked. I want to pick that up and paint it. And I don't know whether that's just where I am with my Games Workshop journey at the moment. But the prospect of picking up anything from Games Workshop, the barrier to it is not only like the price is significant. Building them, you kind of is also a bit of a blow. Like the gnomes team
Takes a long time.
Yeah. I started building some of the Chaos Dwarves and I just gave up. I was like, do you know what? Like, I'm just going to go print 3 prints on my Saturn 2 and the time it's going to take me to make 1 hobgoblin. It's like, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. But yeah, any more thoughts on Cathay? Or what else they should bring in?
Oh, what else? That's a good point. If we're on the vein of secret teams, I mean, you said it before, like the Nippon team would be awesome. I'm not big on the name. It's not very imaginative, is it?
Well,
It's just called it Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this is all stuff that was set up in the 80s, where they were just like,
I suppose.
and it was like, quickly, we need let's just chuck that in. No one will know.
Tilia, that's kind of Italy.
I can't remember
Anagrammed.
what is. I can't remember what Spain is. Warhammer.
Oh God, did they have one?
But yeah. Oh, Estalia.
Oh yeah, okay.
Estalia, which I don't know is probably Spanish for Spain.
Well, España, yeah. España.
Oh, that might be a word. Or is it a real country? It's a fictional peninsula.
Well, because I guess Britannia, you have like the Bretons. Oh, there goes my camera.
No, that's because I think I got...
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got an alert. Yeah, interesting. But, I mean, what I will say is the Punga Cathay team got me very interested in the prospect of running and building and running and painting a human team, an old world, a human world, a nobility team, and a Cathay team from the secret team all in one go. And that I love. That's what Brute Fun does brilliantly. So it's really nice to see another really high quality set of sculpts do that. Yeah, very interested in seeing that. Yeah, cool. Right. Any more today, BT, or should we wrap up?
I think that's it. We can wrap up.
I think we've got no Blood Bowl news events due to be coming. No Games Workshop previews. So who knows?
Your life, though. Yeah, I'm getting married this week. Probably when this podcast comes out, actually.
Oh my God, yes. So, this podcast will be coming out when you are getting married. Which is very, very, very
nice?
Cool. I didn't know whether to mention it because you hadn't mentioned it before on the podcast. So I was like, I don't know if Ben just wants
I thought I did.
To keep it quiet because he doesn't want 20,000 Blood Bowl fans turning up to your wedding.
I'm going to release where? That would be insane. In Estalia.
It's in Estalia. It's in Nippon. Although I think you'd love that, actually.
I actually would, yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's going to be a very good day. I'm looking forward to seeing you all, and yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, we'll put a picture in the Discord.
And anyway, you won't be there on Monday Night Blood Bowl next week because you will be off getting married, which is very exciting. Yeah. So yeah, awesome. All right, with that excellent highlight, we will wrap up for the day. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy weddinging.